What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? File on in. Y'all know what time it is. It's that time again. Let me move my mic up a little bit. Hold up. Got my mic far away. That's right, baby. Welcome to another edition of the best damn sports fan podcast on YouTube. That's right. This is the Unfiltered podcast. I am your host. My name is Apollo. I am Unfiltered. This podcast is Unfiltered. We will be joined shortly, hopefully if he can come in here, by my man Kenny Dots. He'll be joining me today. Got some great discussions for y'all today. Y'all be sure to join the discussion down in the comment section. But before we continue, y'all be sure to like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. If you're a sports fan. Excuse me. Share the content. And to anyone coming through, subscribed or unsubscribed, thank you to everyone who listens, gives an ear, gives an opinion, all that. I said I was going to make a commitment to make this podcast on a more weekly basis, at least 2 times a month. Predominantly sports related, but every now and then I will venture off, but for the most part, this will be a football dominant podcast because as I do love sports, football is my A1 since day one. And I even played the game at I guess I would consider high level. I played junior college, I played semi-pro. That's about as high as I got. Nothing to brag home about. Of course, every player thinks they're great, but that's not here or there. That being said, today we talking basically all quarterbacks. This is going to be the quarterback heavy episode. So y'all know what's going on in the news this week. Aaron Rodgers and that debacle that happened in Green Bay this past weekend and all that. And if anybody's wondering why I chose to do the podcast at the end of the week instead of the day after, well, I like doing it at the end of the week because there's so much news that comes out. And, you know, it's just round the clock news of the NFL, and this NFL season just seems to be juicy going into the offseason. I've wanted to do it at the end of the week. But we're going to be talking about Aaron Rodgers, talking about his legacy, talking about if he should leave Green Bay or stay or go. Should I stay or should I go? We're also going to be talking about a lot of the upcoming free agent quarterbacks and a lot of quarterbacks who may be moving. I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with the news, but it seems like over half the league is going to have a new face as their starting quarterback for their franchise. It seems like there's only like 5 teams that's going to have a lock at quarterback for the next or the upcoming season. And we're going to get into all of that. So once again, thank you guys for joining me here on this Friday night. I'm recording on a Thursday, but for you guys, this is a Friday. So hopefully you enjoy the show. Be sure to go check out other content on the channel. Gaming. Some of my older podcasts. Some podcasts from when I first started this channel a year ago. Tell me how different I sound. How much the quality may have gotten better. Or if it sucks. But with that being said, as I await Kenny to join me here in the chat. I'm going to send him a message. He said he had to get him some notes. I said, you don't need no goddamn notes. We talking football. But we're going to start off. Usually I know people when they do podcasts, they like to save the big topic for the end so you listen. No, I'm going to start off with the juicy topic and the main topic of the video. And that's going to be Aaron Rodgers. So if you're living under a rock or you're a football fan, or excuse me, if you're living under a rock and you're not a football fan, then you wouldn't know that the Green Bay Packers lost on Sunday. It was for the most part, it was a good game. I think it lived up to the hype. It was kind of a slow burn to it, but it lived up to the hype. And then the Packers wound up losing. Aaron Rodgers got his wish, finally having a home game in Lambeau for the first time in the NFC Championship. He wanted the road to Super Bowl to come through Lambeau. Well, Tampa Bay came in and they went through Lambeau. Now they're about to have a home game for the Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers had multiple opportunities at the end of that game as his defense, which really wasn't playing that great. I mean, there was hardly any pressure on Brady, if at all. Kevin King, God bless him, man. As a corner, as somebody who played DB, to watch Kevin King constantly get toasted over and over again was really disheartening. But Jair, he stepped up. I don't know why they didn't have Jair on Mike Evans the whole game. Gronk had one catch. Scotty Miller had that one touchdown catch. I mean, most of the time Brady was throwing to the backs, swing passes, shallow crosses, stuff like that. I would have had Jair on Mike a lot more. Just, he's your top corner. Why not put him on their top receiver? But
hello.
Oh, what's up, Ken? Welcome in, man.
My mic's working. My mic wasn't working. I'm here.
It's all good. Kenny is in the building. Everybody. I just started, man. I
was listening. I was the run game was popping for Mother Fluff and the Buccaneers.
It was. Fournette was getting some good runs. So was Rojo. And
at one point in the mic'd up, they were talking about playoff Fournette. He was just a different kind of man.
He was running downhill, and you gotta, as the game goes on, he's 230 plus pounds. You don't want to tackle him, and it's cold. You don't want to tackle that,
especially in that cold weather.
Exactly.
You saw how Mike Evans struggled in the second half a couple of times with drops.
Yes, I think his hands got frozen. So
after 30 minutes of football, longer, probably more, even like 45 before the half. Yeah, your hands start to get cold, and then you got to come back out there and do it all over.
No doubt. And I play high school football in Texas. So it get cold, but it don't get Wisconsin cold, We get like them heat wave games, and I'm used to that. But I hated practicing in the cold. I was like, I ain't tackling nobody today, coach. I ain't covering nobody. I'm going to stand over
That
here.
was me when it rained. When it rained,
I hate it.
I was like, don't ask me to do nothing. Nope, I ain't getting muddy. I'm too fancy for that shit.
Well, we didn't have to worry about getting muddy because everybody had turf. High school football is king in Texas. But I was talking about how Rodgers had multiple chances to win that game. I mean, they got three drives in a row. I don't care what age Tom Brady is. He does not do that. The first interception, I don't know what he was looking at. Like, he threw it into coverage. So I was like, I don't know what you're looking at, Tom. And then there was the last two. Okay, so one of them was a tip pass.
The fact that it was just three consecutive. The tip pass wasn't really his fault.
Yeah, Jair got that one. And then the other one, he was under pressure for one of the rare times in the game. And he just kind of
threw it up
and hoped Mike Evans would use his big-ass body. But Jair was like, no, I got that, fam. But
Godwin had a phenomenal play where Brady did that in the first half.
But they didn't come through. But the defense was playing inspired for Brady. You got to give it to him. But with that being said, it's like Rodgers had 3 drives and he got a field goal. He didn't get touchdowns. If he would have got 1 touchdown, we're having a State Farm Super Bowl. I guarantee it. We're having a State Farm Super Bowl, and State Farm is just rolling in the dough. But we got Pat Mahomes and Tom Brady, probably 2 of the best quarterbacks. They would probably turn out to be the most accomplished ever to play the game, but we'll see. But here's my thing, and I'm sure, you probably agree with everybody else. Why didn't they go for it on the 4th down?
Well, I believe when sorry about that. I saw a stat that said there was only a 1% chance that if they didn't go for that field goal and instead they went for it, that was the odds. The odds were in their favor to just kick the field goal. They had the 3 timeouts. Matt LaFleur was confident that they could stop Brady, but yeah, Brady, 4th quarter, he's just a different kind of man.
Yeah, true. But here's my thing. If you go for it and you don't get it, where's Tampa Bay at? They're on their own 8-yard line. If you get a 3 and out, even if Tom Brady gets the first down, he's still backed up in his own territory. So you got
Yeah.
to stop him from getting at least 2 first downs, at the least. So if you get him to go 3 and out and they punt the ball, now you got good field position. So now you got another chance. Why kick a field goal and then have them get a return? Because if they get a touchback, they're coming automatically to the 25. And
Yeah.
also on the return, you're going to kill time. So why not just put them on the 8, put the pressure on Brady, because they're going to just try to kill the clock anyway.
Well, that's what they tried to do, and right before they had the 2-minute warning, so they kicked it right before the 2-minute warning, and am I thinking of the right game? Right? Was it the Bucks game where he slid down?
Yeah, this
He
is
slid
it.
down right
Yeah.
before, and they messed up because they still got the 2-minute warning.
Mm-hmm.
So they were trying to kill the clock, but the return didn't take up nearly as much time, and because of the mistake, it gave them nice field position. They were at about the 20.
True. Also, well, before I say also, so I blame 3 people for this loss for Green Bay. 3 people. I blame Matt LaFleur, I blame Aaron Rodgers, and I blame Kevin King, because Kevin King was getting his ass toasted all night. How you give up a touchdown? When Scotty Miller caught the ball, I was like, wow.
Yeah, especially in that. I mean, it's also a defensive call. Like, you're really going to play one-on. Why are you not playing prevent cover? Just send everybody deep. Their only option is to throw it deep. They got 5 or 8 seconds left, and they got one play, basically. Just put everybody deep. Don't press coverage, and you come away with a nice defensive play. You head into half feeling good, but instead they head into half down by 11. Right. Yeah, it was rough.
And also, I was looking at Kevin King and like his technique. Like, why are you looking in the backfield? Tom Brady's in shotgun. Why are you looking, or whatever? I think he was in shotgun, but you got Scotty Miller out there. You think because he's a white boy he ain't fast. Well, you found out real quick how fast his ass was.
Yeah, he got caught sleeping. Real, I say, get him a Tempur-Pedic, coach.
Right? Yeah, he's talking to Dak Prescott too much. But why is Kevin King looking in the backfield in the first place? You should be
I
deeper.
guess he's trying to read Brady, maybe?
I mean, okay. Still, if you're deeper than the deepest man, you can read Brady from there. As defensive backs, we're taught to read the quarterback's shoulders. The depth of his shoulders when he drops it will tell you where he's throwing it. He doesn't dip his shoulder real low and then throw it short. If he's dipping his shoulder real low, he's going deep. So you can still he's close enough, man. Kevin King, if I'm Jair, one, he catching hands after the game because you getting toasted out here. And 2,
and the bad thing is when Brady throws the ball, he doesn't have an arm like Patty where when he throws it deep, that ball gets there in a hurry.
He kind of floated up there.
Yeah, he has to float. He has to put a higher trajectory on it to get that extra oomph in his throw. So that ball hung in the air for a minute, and Scotty Miller just toasted him. And at that point, that comes up to the defensive call. It comes right back to it.
Yep.
The Jets-Raiders game. They made the same mistake. Why on a big play when they got one opportunity to throw it deep? Why are you playing one-on-one? Man, that's just dumb. One deep safety, you're asking to get scored on.
You're right. So I guess we can go 4 people, and everybody gets 25% to blame each. So D coordinator, Kevin King, Rodgers, and Matt LaFleur, they all get the blame. But that
sounds
was
like a plan to me.
That was Sunday. So I'm sure you've heard throughout the week, Aaron Rodgers is like, what did he say? My future's a beautiful mystery. Like, what the fuck are you, a novelist? What the fuck is that? Talking like that for? I think that's some California boy talk, I guess. I don't know. And now he came out and re-clarified that he's like, well, I want to be here if they want me. I was just saying, in the emotions. I was like, nah, man. You want out.
Yeah.
It's clearly you want out. So
well, he has 3 years, $74 million left on his contract.
Yeah, and he's rumored to be asking for more money. Why are you asking for more money?
Yeah.
Hold Green
Coming
Bay
out saying that your future's uncertain.
Yeah.
And then coming out and saying, he said, I think that ultimately my future is not necessarily in my control. And it just hit me in that moment. Like, what?
Yeah, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's a bunch of bull. But I mean, hold Green Bay accountable. If Green Bay doesn't want to make the moves that you feel are necessary to get you to the next level and get that second ring, then say, hey, I want to trade. I'm trying to bounce. Pull a Deshaun Watson. Shit. We talked about him a couple weeks ago.
I think by doing all this, kind of, he went on Pat McAfee's podcast and kind of stirred up a little drama. I think by doing that, he's trying to squeeze a little extra money if he could. Maybe in his plan, he could be like, yo, I'm going to get that fat signing bonus one more year and I'm out.
Either that. I mean, yeah, that could be it. I mean, if he's about the dough, then get your money. I ain't going to go against a guy trying to get his paper. If you want your money, get your money. But if you want to win, then I need to see some roster moves. But here's my thing. If you're Aaron Rodgers and you want to be traded, what are some teams you are looking at where you like, I can pull a Tom Brady, I can go to this team, I trust this organization, and I can take them to the promised land? Who are you looking at? Because I have a team that nobody, for some reason, is not talking about. I don't know why no one is talking about. Even this team as a landing spot for Deshaun. I don't know why no one's talking about this, but I'm gonna let you go first.
It could be a toss-up between a couple teams. I would say a healthy 49ers team would be an interesting landing spot. They've struggled with injuries. A couple of their star players are getting up there in age, so I don't know. They might only have a year or two left in the tank if they had Aaron Rodgers on the team.
True.
But a team I'd like to see Aaron maybe. What do they got over in LA? I'm talking the Raiders.
Oh, okay.
They got Derek Carr. What's he? He's average.
He is.
I don't think he's gonna get them anywhere special.
No.
I think he's gonna be another Phillip Rivers type quarterback where, yeah, he makes plays when it matters. Sometimes, he's inconsistent when it matters a lot of the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they have Mariota. Like, why'd they even pick up Mariota? They used them twice throughout the year.
Right.
He's a decent backup, but get somebody in there with real talent. Get Derek Carr out of there, maybe. Trade him.
Right.
Aaron Rodgers? Yeah. Potential?
Now, I'm not a cap guru. I don't know what the salary cap is. Here are my two teams, and I don't know why nobody's mentioning this. I got Denver because they have a lot of young weapons, and they have a very decent defense. I mean, the defense ain't that much better than Green Bay's current defense, but at least they got Von Miller.
Yeah, he's another one that's probably only got a few years left in the tank.
Yeah, he's just a couple years older than me, but I mean. He gets re-energized having Aaron Rodgers there. I'm sure he could turn it on whenever he wants. And the Patriots, come on.
Patriots.
Now, I don't know this. Like I said, the Patriots should have cap space because the only person they're really playing is Stephon Gilmore. And if we know Bill Belichick, I would not be surprised if Stephon Gilmore is not a Patriot next year. I'm just saying that. Hot take. Y'all remember that I said that. If Stephon Gilmore...
There was the controversy earlier in the year. He was like borderline ready to get traded. They were like, all right, ship him out. Went to the Saints, I believe it was. Yeah.
Oh, God.
And the deal ended up falling through.
Bro, if he would have went to the Saints, that secondary would have been lethal. They would have
Laddie Daddy.
Oh, God. Him, Laddie Moore, Jack Rabbit.
All them nicknames.
Oh, man. Damn. That would have been deadly. But
the Patriots, in terms of cap space, they do have it, but they also don't have it at the same time.
But here's the thing. What are their draft picks looking like too?
They didn't. I forgot where they placed. They landed basically middle of the league, so their draft picks are going to be average. I remember they made a couple trades involving draft picks. I think we traded away a couple picks. But so I'm not too sure.
Possible he could find.
I can look it up real quick.
He can find somebody. I'm sure Belichick can find somebody, and all those guys that sat out with COVID will come back. Because a lot of players that sat out were some of their key players outside of like the McCourty twins. Like a lot of linemen sat out, linebackers, just people that were key that maybe if they were there, maybe the Patriots go 9-7 or 10-6 instead of 7-9. And if you can go 7-9 with Cam Newton, you can't tell me you can't go 12, 13 wins with Aaron Rodgers. All you got to do is get him a receiver, someone that's comparable. And I think they can do that. I mean, hell, he may turn N'Keal Harry into a star. We all know Cam Newton is not the most accurate of quarterbacks. I love Cam, but he ain't the best in terms of, accuracy and.
Yeah, that's for sure, especially when it comes to the deep ball. So that's why they ran a lot of the option scheme and tried to do what he was good at, but
he's
comeback Cam didn't really impress me too much.
If this was if they would have took MVP Cam that year and put him on this Patriots team, I think this Patriots
different story.
I think this Patriots team is in the playoffs. Yeah, I think they're in the playoffs. Because he took that team, he had just Greg Olsen. Those other receivers were doo-doo brown ass, and he still took them 15-1 to the Super Bowl. So,
Patriots also have some young depth,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They got depth. They're going to get draft picks. Those guys are going to come back. It's a trusted organization that will, in the best interest that we assume, because this is the first year Belichick has been there without Brady, like in the rotation. But we assume with their history that Belichick will do what's best to build the team. And if he has someone like Aaron Rodgers, who's, Tom Brady from like a couple years ago in terms of age, I don't see how the Patriots aren't contenders right away. That's why I thought New England. I was like, New England? No one is talking about New England, and I don't know, maybe they're just not remembering. Maybe they're thinking another quarterback is going there. I don't know, but that was just my thing.
Yeah, initially it was, tank for Fields. It was a little joke. I doubt the Patriots are projected 15th overall. If Fields falls that low, I'd be very surprised. They have about 60 mil in cap space, but Joe Thurney, Cam Newton, David Andrews, and James White, 4 huge players. Joe Thurney's a guard. Mm-hmm. David Andrews also at the line at center. Yeah. Obviously, you should know Cam Newton and James White.
I know them too.
They're all pending free agents. So, depending on if the Pats want to fork up the money, carve a little bit into that 60 million, because those names alone, obviously Cam Newton's walking, but in terms of David Andrews, James White, and Joe Thurney, I don't see why you don't re-sign them. But Bill Belichick makes some crazy moves. He's cut players when you think they're in their prime, and then they go to a different team and don't do anything. So we'll have to see what happens in this offseason. I'm definitely interested.
Now, my thing is, are we sure Cam Newton is walking?
We are like 99.9%. We're like Purell sure out here.
Okay.
The Patriots are definitely in the market for a quarterback. There was talks about Stafford. When Winston or I'm sorry, when
and we gonna get into
Watson.
all that. Yeah, we gonna get into all that because there's a guy on the radio. I ain't giving no free plugs here. He said, there's a report that says 18, so over half the league, 18 teams could have a different starting quarterback. I think with how it's looking, I can only name 5 teams maybe that have a legit lock for who they're going to have at quarterback next year. But we'll get to that. Before we get to that, real quick. So Aaron Rodgers, his legacy. This is what his legacy is to me. Yes, he has a Super Bowl ring. But it seems like over his career, when it matters the most, when his team needed him the most, as in the playoffs, not regular season, because anybody can put up good regular season numbers. Ask Peyton Manning in his early years. Ask Lamar Jackson right now. Anybody can put up good regular season number. When the pressure is on and the playoffs, Aaron Rodgers has not delivered. And to me, you might as well say he doesn't even have a ring because he has not lived up to the moniker of being a Super Bowl quarterback. He has not delivered for the Packers time and time again. He has not beaten a marquee quarterback in the playoffs since he won the Super Bowl. Not one.
I mean, I can't name any off the top of my head, but Rodgers, I would say he definitely deserves his ring. The way he's gotten there, maybe his legacy is, shall we say, built on the backs of Hail Marys. That's going to be a very controversial statement, but that's like always you see the highlight. Aaron Rodgers' greatest highlights. It's always a Hail Mary.
Hail Mary, yeah.
You know what I mean? And on those plays, would you say it's really skill? I mean, it's a different situation if we go to like the D-Hop Kyler Murray catch where you evade defenders, you're rolling out of the pocket, you throw, stop on a dime, and deliver a dot where your receiver has to go up and get it.
And snag it.
But in a Hail Mary situation, that's called Hail Mary for a reason. You're praying.
Exactly. And this is going to be a crazy thing to say. But he was talking about, Aaron Rodgers talking about Matt Stafford. I mean, Aaron Rodgers and Matt Stafford's career have pretty much been the same. It's just Aaron Rodgers has been in the playoffs and Matt Stafford is not.
Matt Stafford is underrated.
In terms
highly
of numbers,
underrated.
And you know what? I play football in the area, DFW area. I remember reading about Matt Stafford in all those magazines and how he was just this great guy, this quarterback that's just going to dominate. And it's either him, who are you taking, him or Tim Tebow? Because they graduated, I think, the same year. It's like, who are you taking, him or Tebow? And people are like, Matt Stafford is going to just take over the league. And
I mean, the Lions organization is
horrible. It's a horrible organization.
Yeah. It's set up for failure. They got a lot of deep-rooted issues they need to fix first before they worry about their players on the field, and it transfers. You know what I mean? When you got bad management, you have bad coaching, you perform badly.
Exactly.
It all trickles down. And when you got players retiring in their prime because your team is terrible, there's a little bit of a problem. That wasn't the exact reason, but
I mean, they have two of the greatest players in their history of the franchise retired around 30, and those two are the greatest players at their position.
Yeah.
So and I'm just saying, and I say that because if you switch Matt Stafford and Aaron Rodgers, who's to say Matt Stafford wouldn't have a ring and Aaron Rodgers wouldn't be in the situation Stafford in? But they still have great numbers because Stafford has great numbers. He just throws more interceptions. I will give Rodgers that. Aaron Rodgers does not throw picks, except in the playoffs. Apparently, when the pressure's on, It's like he just, his backside gets tight, and if he doesn't have somebody else like his defense step up they did step up for him. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he has a great ratio in his career.
Yeah.
He over 400 touchdowns, under 100 interceptions. So that's pretty. A 1-to-4 tutty to interception ratio is pretty great when you've been in the NFL for that long, especially.
But I would love to know his ratio in the playoffs. That's his regular season ratio.
Ooh, that's true.
What's his playoff ratio? Because he seems to always throw. He's had tons of multiple interception games. And let me see if I can look that up. Oh my goodness. Because that's something I definitely want to know.
I don't even know.
Aaron Rodgers playoff stats.
Playoffs passing. All right, so I got them pulled up here, Apollo.
Okay, all right.
If you go to Pro Football Reference.
Yeah, I'm on it, dude. I'm on that too. How'd you get to the playoffs ones? Playoff.
So you can pull them up.
Yeah, I see it down there.
This way we can look together at them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, the ratio is similar. Wow. 45 tutties, 13 interceptions, about a 4-to-1 again. Over 5,600 passing yards. I mean, he's done what he needs to do, I guess, in the playoffs. But this year was a different story. He did not play to his full potential, I would say.
I guess it just seems like he's throwing more picks because they come when he doesn't need them. I think that's
True.
the thing. But we're gonna segue, since this is gonna be a quarterback heavy episode. So we're gonna go with basically, so we got Deshaun Watson trying to force himself out. Houston sports fans are on suicide watch right now because they just can't win. The baseball team are cheaters. Harden said, "I'm out." Now Deshaun says, "I'm out, fam."
Yeah,
But,
and it's official. He's formally requested that trade. He definitely wants out.
And Uncle Shay Shay said this morning on Undisputed that his source, 99.5% confirms that Deshaun will not take a snap for Houston next year. So, and he has a no trade clause, so he can determine where he wants to go. So I asked the same question like I did for Roger. If you're Deshaun Watson, because we talked about him a couple of weeks ago, but we didn't, what would be the best landing spot. But now that I know he has control, if you are Deshaun Watson, where do you want to go? Like, what's the top 3 teams that you can walk into the Houston Texans management office and slam it on the table and say, "Here, this is where the fuck I want to go. Make it happen."
You know what? He says, "Coach, listen, I love the color green. Send me to the Jets." No, I'm just playing, dude.
Please don't.
I swear to God, I don't even know why the Jets are in conversation.
I don't either, bro. I really don't.
I'm guessing if I was a betting man, I'd say that he goes to the Dolphins. The Dolphins are no longer that team where it's like, we're facing the Dolphins. Let's go. Easy win on the schedule.
You're right.
No, they came second in the division this year. They beat the Patriots.
Yeah.
They were a good team. Mm-hmm. So I don't see why Deshaun couldn't maybe work out a trade with the management office in Miami and see what he can do.
True.
I mean, Tua was basically the Texans' pick, and they did a whole flip-flop, and then the Dolphins got the first-round pick, and then they picked Tua with it. So, I mean, the 5th overall pick.
Yeah.
So, it's like he would just be going back to his original birthplace, we'll call it. But yeah, I would like to see Deshaun in Miami. I mean, as a Pats fan, I wouldn't, because
they got to play him twice now.
Yeah, now we got to play him twice a year, and you see what he does. You can kick that man in the eye, and he'll still dot you up. So
exactly. Now, again, I have teams that nobody's talking about, but if I'm Deshaun Watson, and this is pending, well, 2 teams, their quarterback situation is pending. So I'm going to give the one where the quarterback situation is not pending, and that's Chicago. Chicago just needs a quarterback, and they're ready.
Yeah.
They're ready to compete. I mean, damn, they're competing now with Mitch Trubisky. Deshaun Watson is clearly better than Mitchell Trubisky. If you get Deshaun, a good free agent, because I think we're going to, or you can draft him like I don't know the Bears draft position, but we got some wide receivers coming out. What if they get Jalen Waddle? Because Devontae Smith is going. He's going out of there. But let's say they get Jalen Waddle. They sign Kenny Galladay out of free agency and whoever. Hell, AB's going to be a free agent. Maybe they sign him and he has a resurgence. You can't tell me that Bears team will not be fearsome because they're set on defense. You got Deshaun. You got Tariq Cohen in the backfield. You got.
Are they keeping Robinson?
Ooh, good question. I don't know his contract situation, but that's a good question. They got Jimmy Graham at fucking tight end.
Yep.
I mean, you got a running game. You got a good passing game. Just if you just do everything good and right, I can see the Bears literally contending. You got pending what Big Ben.
They got a
does.
great defense.
They got a great defense. Yes.
Kyle Fuller,
Eddie Jackson, safety.
Eddie Jackson.
Khalil Mack speaks for itself. I mean, damn. They got a good core of young linebackers. I mean, the Bears, they would be ready with Deshaun. Now, my second team is the Steelers, and that depends on what Big Ben's going to do. Or if the Steelers will trade up and take Justin Fields.
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
That would be interesting. And, again, the Steelers, I feel like they will compete with Deshaun because he's not Big Ben. He could throw it down the field. Big Ben can't push the ball down the field. So
Yeah.
with Deshaun, that maybe opens up the running game for James Conner. Maybe Juju can emerge finally as a number one like he's supposed to. And if you just shore up the defense, especially that damn secondary, Pittsburgh is back easily.
I mean, they tried for that undefeated season, fell apart in the last 4 games, but honestly, I don't know if Deshaun Watson goes to the Steelers if they have all the pieces necessary to do it again. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I seen the way Connor's been playing
Yeah.
lately, and it doesn't impress me.
Yeah.
It doesn't impress me.
And he clearly
Compared
is,
to his rookie and
yeah.
sophomore year, we'll call it.
I mean, think of all the last 20 years the Pittsburgh Steelers running backs. Even the ones in the short period like Willie Parker and stuff like that. They were still very, very good running backs in the time they had featured. James Conner had like one good year and he's kind of been gone. But like I said, that depends on Big Ben, what he's going to do. Now, I know a lot of people are talking about San Francisco, and I don't know why they're trying to get off Jimmy G. I know some people may think Denver. Here's one I'm thinking of, and this depends on Drew Brees. And this is the most scariest one, Deshaun Watson and New Orleans.
Yep, that was also a team I was thinking of. If Drew Brees is done and Deshaun Watson decides, hey, they're going to offer me a decent contract or, whatever incentives they decide to provide to him to try to get him into New Orleans, they got a lot of weapons down in New Orleans. And I think they have potential to go right back to the playoffs, maybe even make a deeper run.
Imagine Deshaun. And okay, here's the thing, because Deshaun is athletic. So you know how they put Taysom Hill at quarterback and they split Drew out. Drew ain't running no route. You would be stupid if you sleep on the fact that you don't think Deshaun won't run some kind of sneaky route and Taysom launch it and dot him up. And he scored. Yeah. And then you got Alvin Kamara. And then if Michael Thomas resigns. And then you got Emmanuel Sanders. With that defense. Oh my goodness. New Orleans looks stupid scary. But
yeah, especially on offense. Defense is a different story too.
Yeah. But I mean, what do you do with Taysom Hill? Taysom Hill wants to be a featured quarterback. Do you keep Jameis as the backup? I mean, even though he's gone 30 for 30, I still think Jameis Winston he's a good quarterback.
He had the touchdown in the playoffs.
And that was a good pass. You see, he launched that.
He did. He put it right on the money for him and everything. So I don't know. If you were New Orleans, if you were the GM right now and they came to you and they were like, "Yo, listen, we're bringing in Watson, but Taysom or Winston has to go. Who are you kicking out?"
Jameis.
You're kicking out Jameis.
I'm kicking out Jameis. I'm kicking.
I would agree too.
I'm kicking. Like I know, but I know, like when in terms of who wants to stay, Jameis would want to stay. I'm sure he would rather back up Deshaun and Taysom. But in terms of just like personnel and game plan, I'm kicking Jameis and I'm keeping Taysom. Because having him and Deshaun in the game at the same time with Alvin Kamara in the backfield is one of the scariest things you can think of as a defense. Because the ball can literally go anywhere at any time. They could double pass like easily. I mean, shit.
That's the thing, though. They're going to have to come up with a new scheme if they want to do that. Because that has not been the Saints' game plan until these past couple seasons with Taysom Hill, And it's not even like it's a rare thing when you see Taysom Hill do a little gadget play. It's not like every single drive you're going to expect Taysom Hill on the field to do something tricky with the ball.
That is true. But, I mean, Sean Payton's going to have a young, athletic, gifted quarterback. See, this is what, to me, what I think separates Deshaun from people like Lamar and Patrick Mahomes. He's kind of a mix because he can throw kind of like Patrick, but he's not as good as a thrower. But he can run like Lamar, but he's not as good of a runner as Lamar. He's a good mix. And I think that's what makes him more dangerous going forward. Get him on the right team and then look out. But That's Deshaun. But like, so we're gonna go to the next one. Matthew Stafford.
Hold on, my dog was barking Apollo. I didn't want to get some trash audio up here.
Oh
My
man, we good.
opinion.
This is
I,
unfiltered. If you, I'm sure you heard Fox Boy a couple weeks ago just with his dubstep remix.
Like the yard, the good old days.
Yeah, he was for like 20 minutes. Me and Miss were losing our mind because Fox Boy was over. Fox was just dubstepping, and he was saying something, and he was meaning it, but we didn't understand a goddamn thing he was saying. He was dubstepping hard.
He's probably trying to record it. That's what I always.
I think he was. I don't know what he was doing, but he was moving a couch or something, and he was trying to talk at the same time, and he just cut in and out. I was like, oh god, it was hilarious. But I'm not editing stuff out like that. I mean, whatever happens, it happens, man.
With Watson, I would say though, he's a motherfluffing escape artist, dude.
Yes, he is.
Yo, when it comes to evading pressure, I don't see his name being talked about enough. This man is agile. He breaks tackles. He breaks sacks. He gets out the pocket. He scrambles. He runs when he has the space. He can dot up when he has, he can make defenders commit to the run because they have to respect it, and then dot up. He's just Patty Mahomes. Ever since he's come into this league, that's all everybody talks about. Patty Mahomes. Everything's the Chiefs and the superstars over there, and it kind of overshadows a lot of these other great quarterbacks. And I think Deshaun Watson needs to be talked about a little bit more.
Well, he makes a lot of highlight plays, but he doesn't make more than Lamar Jackson. That's the thing. Pat Mahomes and Lamar Jackson dominate the highlight plays for quarterbacks. Like, they just dominate them.
Well, their scheme is also set up a bit more of a way for the quarterbacks to, get loose, gadget plays, the highlight plays, the ones that are going to get the crowd's attention.
True.
And then usually they end up breaking big. So, and especially when you got Lamar and a lot of their plays are run plays. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're going to see the highlights. I'm not denying he's a great player, but let's just say it's like when you run the ball 10 times compared to the Texans. I run the ball with Lamar 10 times compared to, Deshaun Watson, who's scrambling out the game 10 times max a game.
Yeah.
You're not going to see as many of those highlights. So
true.
He's got many through the air. Yeah, they traded away their best mother fluffing receiver. So you can't give too much hate with what he does with Brandon Cooks.
Bill O'Brien, he had to hit a line or something before he did. Like, there is no way you can logically sit at your desk and say, I'm about to trade DeAndre Hopkins.
I don't understand.
For a second round pick and
it was something garbage.
And a running back who hasn't been elite in a couple of years. That sounds like a good idea. Let's do it. And then like
I honestly thought it was some sort of like this man knew he was on the way out and he was like, yeah, well, fluff y'all too then. Dude,
bro, if I'm David Johnson, even I'm upset at this trade. Like, you traded D-Hop for me? Come on, bro.
Like, what the fluff? I would be furious. And if I'm Watson, I'm like, dog, that's my best receiver. And the main reason why he is like he's 100% like get me the hell out of here is because their new head coach signing.
Yeah.
Right? Or GM, head coach, whatever it was.
Yeah, the new GM. He came from New England.
The GM.
Another New England guy.
Shout out to New England because y'all want everything we got. Y'all can't have it though. But you didn't talk to your quarterback who you promised was gonna have a say. You promised this man, yo, listen, we got you.
Right.
When we sign a new GM, you're gonna be the first one to know. You can get your input in, and then they go behind his back and sign a dude without a single word. I would be pretty upset. You traded away my best receiver. I'm gone.
Look, the NFL needs to realize what like the NBA did. It's like being in a relationship. You're with your girl, right? And basically you tell your girl, what you won't do, somebody else will do for me. Deshaun Watson just said, Since y'all want to be fooly like that, I'm gonna go somewhere where somebody will do what I want for me. That will put me in these decisions because I am a franchise quarterback. I am a superstar in this league. I'm a well-known face. If I was to walk around on the street, people would know who the hell I am. I won't be Nick Chubb at the airport and somebody's like, "Oh, hey, you play football?" You know?
Yeah.
People are gonna know who the hell I am. I'm Deshaun flipping Watson. I'm the guy that took down Alabama. I'm the guy that came to Houston and even with a shitty team, still had an MVP caliber season. That's who I am.
He deserves the money, and he deserves the choice and say in his team. And the fact that he don't get the choice, he's like, "Fluff, y'all go get my money somewhere else."
Exactly.
And my choice.
Exactly. But with that being said, so we're gonna go from one quarterback to another, and that's Matt Stafford. My old fellow Texan man, Matty Ice. No, that's Matt. That's Matt. Right?
Matty Ice 2.0.
Yeah, Matty Ice too. Mr. If you got a league, I'm gonna come snatch it from you.
Mr. I got up with dislocated elbows.
Right? Like, I just feel bad for Matt Stafford because the Detroit Lions are a horrible organization. Do you think he'll go to Indy or whatever team you think he'll go to? Hopefully it's a playoff.
I would love to see him at Indy because that means he doesn't go to the Patriots. So
you don't want him in New England?
Oh, hell no.
Why not?
Bro, all right, listen, you were good, Matt Stafford. You were good, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you got anywhere near enough juice in the tank to take my team to the playoffs.
But he can do it for Indy.
I didn't say that. I just said I wanted Indy because he's not in New England.
Okay. That's
I mean, if Phillip Rivers, honestly, if Phillip Rivers could take Indy to the playoffs, I don't see why Matt Stafford couldn't.
True.
If we're going there. So, fluff it. Sign him. See what he could do for your team. Phillip Rivers is gone, so you got no other option. I don't see Deshaun Watson going there. I really, they don't have a great pick. They went to the playoffs, so their pick's going to be pretty bottom of the barrel.
Mm-hmm.
Who the fluff are y'all going to get? You're not going to get a great quarterback out of the draft. There's not really too many free agents, so,
True.
I mean, that are going to want to sign with you, I should say. So, Matt Stafford, there's your option. Get him.
Now, what if Bill Belichick pulls the okie doke on you? He signs him. Are you going to turn in your Patriots card?
Of course not. Of course not. We're lifelong out here. That's how we go through ups and downs. I mean, we haven't had too many of the downs. It's been mostly ups.
Bro,
but, if we end up signing Stafford, I'm not going to buy a jersey by any means, but I'll still rep my team. I'll still hope for the win every Sunday. Or, we play a lot of weekday games. But, you get the point.
Yeah. I think this year's only, the second time y'all haven't made the playoffs in the last 20 plus years?
10 years. 10 years, I think it was. It was the last decade. Decade.
Well, let's just say from 2010 to 2020, y'all make the playoffs every year. So that decade was sold up.
Yeah, we had that wrapped.
But apparently, Skip Bayless, old Skippy Skip.
Oh, I love him.
Wants some. I know you don't.
I like Skip.
I fuck with Skip, but Skip wants Matt, or he's put the idea out there that Matt Stafford should come home and play for the Cowboys. And if he does that, then what does Dak Prescott do? Because that's another guy that if he comes back, you got to franchise tag him. You're going to pay him $40 million, which you could have already did last year. So
there's no way.
What games are you playing here? So if he comes to Dallas, Dak walks. Where the hell does Dak go? Does he go to Chicago? Indy? Does Dak go to Detroit? God, I hope he don't go to Detroit. His career is over.
Dak ends up as one of those quarterback. If that happens and they sign Stafford, I think Dak ends up walking and he becomes one of those Tannehill quarterbacks that just bounces from team to team. I
think so. Unless Bill Belichick
find a home again if he leaves.
Unless the Patriots snag him up.
That'd be, again,
No.
yeah, let's hard pass on that one. Let's Stidham. You're in, dog. You're in. You
Well,
got the call.
y'all don't want Stids. Stids is horrible. You would take a broken Cam Newton over Stids any day. You know it.
Yeah.
Oh
But
God.
it be what it be. If I honestly, if Cam Newton doesn't come back, which it's likely, and Deshaun Watson doesn't sign, which is likely, Stafford, if he comes through, I'd be okay with it. I'd be okay with Stafford trying to dot up because the one thing Stafford does have going for him that fits in nice is the Lions run a similar scheme to the Patriots.
True.
That system quarterback role,
Yeah.
if you want to call it that. I hate when people do, but it's one of the ways to put it. Simple dots, short passes, run the ball when you gotta, pass when you gotta. They don't air it out too deep too much. They mainly just tire you out and beat you that way.
Well,
And they're a lot. They're a second half team, just like the Patriots. You know what I mean? A lot of the times, a Lion win is a comeback win.
true. And that's what Matt Stafford's good at. So at least we know if he's behind and he has a good team, that lead is not safe. It's not
Very
safe
true.
at all. But it brings me to speaking of New England quarterbacks, or an old New England quarterback, Jimmy G and Jared Goff, aka Ryan Gosling. The Rams and 49ers are they're the reports, quote unquote, let me say. The reports, these sports writers, they're saying that those two teams are looking to move on from those quarterbacks. Now, some analysts are saying, why would you do that? These guys, within the last 5 years, have taken you to a Super Bowl, so why even consider moving on? The Niners have been injured up and down, including
Yeah,
Jimmy G. Now, Jared Goff, I was never sold on him. I honestly think that he is a product of Sean McVay's play calling. Like, I feel like that system masks his flaws. Like, I don't think he has a good arm. I don't really think he's that accurate. I mean, when have we seen a game where they had made Jared Goff to stand back there and beat them with his arm, and it wasn't some smoke and mirror plays ran by Sean McVay? He's never done that.
they did that in the playoffs. I
When?
mean, I wouldn't say like it was the best, but Jared Goff got into a rhythm against Green Bay for sure. At one
Ah,
point, I know everybody was thinking at one point they might actually win, and they definitely might have if Aaron Donald didn't get that rib injury taken out for the game.
yeah,
The whole second half, not having your superstar D lineman who causes the pressure, that's big. That's a big loss.
yeah.
Jared Goff, he also wasn't even playing at 100%. He had just come off a surgery and he was slanging dots.
True,
So
true. I still,
imagine him healthy in that game. I don't know.
I,
Could have
I,
gone
I
a
look at
different way.
I look at Jared Goff like a Dak Prescott type of deal, but he's just in a better coaching situation, which is good for him. No knock against him. He's in the NFL, which makes him an elite quarterback in terms of
I would agree with
playing.
that. I would say Jared Goff and Dak Prescott are on the same skill
Yeah,
level.
they're around the same skill level, and
Accuracy wise, though, I think Jared Goff might have a little bit of an edge.
I give you that. Yes, I do give you that, but I still feel like that system. Like if you put Jared Goff in Bill Arians' system, I mean not
Mhm.
Bill, Bruce Arians' system in Tampa,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think he succeeds because he just doesn't seem like the type of quarterback that will consistently throw it down the field. I feel like at least Jameis has an arm and he's gutsy and he'll take that risk. I don't see Goff doing that. No knock
Yeah.
against him, just not his style. But I mean, do you think these organizations should already consider moving on, especially the Rams? I mean, who are they gonna? I mean, there's apparently supposed to be a lot of options, but who do they go get? Do they go get Matt Stafford? Do they get Deshaun? I would
I don't think you do this year. I don't think
give him another year
get rid of. Yeah, I don't think you get rid of Goff. He just took you to the playoffs. It's not
again.
like we haven't heard anything. Again, yeah, He took you to the Super Bowl a couple years ago. I don't see why you would. As long as he's happy, there's no reason to get rid of him.
Yeah.
There's no reason. Give him another chance. Let your team get healthy. Come
Yeah.
back next season with a healthy Aaron Donald, a healthy quarterback. What's his name? Wolfert?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Clifford?
yeah.
He did all right before he broke his neck. He
God,
was,
that was nasty. It was
yeah,
nasty,
I
man.
mean, you never want to see an injury like that. Jeez.
Plus, you just paid him all this damn money. You paid him all this money, and now you're already talking about getting rid of him. So you as a GM, that makes you look bad.
And as soon as a player hears rumors before they're talking to formally, you know that's got to upset them.
Oh hell
I
yeah!
obviously we don't know what goes on behind the scenes. Maybe he was talked to, but from our standpoint, I don't know.
And
If I was Jared Goff, I'd want to stay.
mm-hmm.
But if you're gonna try to push me out, I have no problem leaving, trying to find a better team.
True, and they hear the chatter. It's all over social media.
Oh, of course.
And speaking of, I mean, and same with Jimmy G. You just paid him all this money. He took it to the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes just had a great comeback. I mean, and yeah, he threw a pick, but Jimmy G still got you there to the Super Bowl in a conference that had Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers. He still got you there. It had Matt Ryan. I mean, he was there. And you're already trying to get rid of him? Now, it's your fault for paying him after him playing only 5 games, and you paid him all that damn money. But why are you trying to move on? And that brings me to my next point. Speaking of another quarterback who got paid a lot, but they're in a very dicey quarterback situation, the Eagles. Do you keep Jalen Hurts? Do you move him?
I heard they have plans on getting rid of him. I believe it's already been said, if I'm not mistaken, that Jalen Hurts is soon to no longer be an Eagle.
Where does he go though?
Uh,
What do you think he goes? I can see Jalen Hurts in somewhere like Chicago or Indy. I can see him going to Indy.
Start though is the question. He probably wants to go a place where he starts,
Yeah.
and I don't see too many of those teams open right now.
Maybe somewhere like the Jets.
What if
They really want to move on from Darnold?
Jets?
If they want to really move on from Darnold,
They probably are gonna pick up Fields if they do that.
true. And his career's gonna go shitter.
Yeah. If I don't know, maybe hypothetically, if like Aaron Rodgers was to get moved on and they didn't replace him, maybe Hurts to Green Bay.
But no, you got Jordan Love. Remember? You got Jordan Love. Yeah, he exactly him because he didn't get any
bench
reps
for a while though.
all year. He
Yeah.
did nothing. It's a lot going on, man.
The Packers also have a history of drafting decent quarterbacks and just doing nothing with them, a la Deshaun Kaiser.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So,
Is he still in the league?
I don't even know at this point.
Because
Probably a free agent.
watching him at Notre Dame, you're like, man, this guy's gonna be good in the league, and no, just throws interceptions all day.
Yeah, granted, he wasn't the greatest quarterback. He didn't really make a reason for himself to play.
True,
But it looks like he is a backup on Tennessee.
true, but that's already an hour coming up. That went so fast. That went so fast, man. I feel like there's so much more to talk about, but I ain't gonna hold you too long tonight, man. So I want to thank my
There is
esteemed
one
guest.
thing I had one thing I wanted to say though. I don't know if you heard about it. I don't know if you heard about it. Did you hear about Jason Witten?
Yeah, he retired again.
Well, he
Signed his 1-day contract.
signed a 1-day contract with your boys.
Yeah.
He said, "Fluff y'all Raiders,"
Yes,
so he could hang up his jersey as a Cowboy.
His ass
I
should-
thought that was pretty dope as a Cowboy fan. I thought you would love that when I saw
I
the news.
did.
I was like, "Oh hell yeah!"
He should have never came back in the first damn place, but
I was especially to a different team. You don't
yeah.
do that.
And the Raiders?
Do
Come on,
that.
man. Derek Carr is, I mean, how much more better is he than Dak Prescott? Like, come on.
Yeah, if the Bucks were like, yo, listen, look at this team we just built. You're trying to come back too. We got Grunt, we got Brady, we got Fournette, we got Jones, we got, Mike Evans, Godwin. I'd be like, that offense seems pretty lit. I might come out for a year or two. Like,
Yeah.
but you got the Raiders. I mean, they got names, but they don't got Brady. They don't got a coach like Bruce Arians. You're gonna say John Gruden. You're gonna come out to
Yeah.
Jason Witten. You make a mistake, over to John Gruden.
I feel like Jason Witten would have helped Andy Dalton this year. Because as slow as he is, he gets open. I don't understand.
Very true.
He'll just throw you like, what? No one's around him. Why? I don't understand.
Like a Jeremy Shockey type, Tony Gonzalez, almost big
Shockey.
man who can get loose with it.
Jeremy Shockey was a G. That dude was a G.
Real G.
He was a G. But, all right, everybody, I'm going to cut it off there. I want to thank Kenny. Thank you so much for coming through. I'm going to leave a link to Kenny's channel in the description. Y'all better go subscribe to Kenny's channel or I will punch you in the dick. I promise you, if you do not subscribe to his channel, I will punch you in the dick. And if you're a female, I'm going to punch you in the titties. I'm just playing. But y'all be sure to please go subscribe to Kenny's channel. He has some fire content over there. What you got going on your channel right now, Kenny? Let the people know.
Right now, we got some pretty dope stuff. We got a Percy Padlock, the Ray Lewis, Derrick Henry production.
Mm-hmm.
He just got his scholarship to the Armory. He's been doing big things over there, trying to rebuild that. And our most anticipated thing is our flashback franchise we got going in Madden.
Yes.
That's pretty dope.
It is dope. Kenny has some amazing edits too. So y'all need to definitely go check out Kenny's channel. Y'all be sure to subscribe and like all his videos and all that shit. Y'all be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Share the content. But I'm Apollo. I'm signing out. Y'all take care. It's been good. One love and all glory to God. I'm going to catch y'all next time, baby. Peace!